How are
doing,
you?
mate? Good
seeing you again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm James with Full Reptile. First question was, what new challenges does Gustafsson bring to the table for you?
You know, I think the biggest challenge is, as far as new challenges, is his movement. You know, he's an oddity in that he fights like a small guy as far as his movement goes, and he never seems to fade too much. You know, he has lots and lots of movement. So he moves, he moves like a little guy, but has the power of a 205er. So that's a little bit different than any other guys in the division. He's got really good footwork, and his boxing is really, really clean. So I think that he's absolutely the best boxer that I will have faced up to this point, and definitely has the best footwork and the best movement.
And now I heard you bring up Dan a minute ago. And just for all the fans that don't completely understand, you said you were fighting before you were training. What exactly does that mean?
Well, when I started fighting, I didn't fall in love with the sport and then start training in it and then decide to compete. You know, I just signed up for like an amateur fight night and I started fighting, and then I started training after that. You know, so I was losing a lot at the beginning. I just loved the sport. And I love the pureness of it. So like Dan has said in the past, he explains it better than I can say. Dan's got a way with words that is better than mine. So, I learned on the job, and I learned as I went instead of learning first and then competing.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot with Dan at the moment, aren't you? You're doing the Sirius FM radio show. How's that going?
You know, I was always a fan of Dan Hardy when he fought, because I think that as competitors, we're very similar. I think a little bit in our fight style and a little bit in our mindset. Dan was just a savage, and he just brought it, and he wasn't always the cleanest technician, and I think that's very similar to myself. But the dude could fight,
sure.
and he's got a really analytical brain when it comes to the sport, much like myself. So, we have the thing we do on Sirius XM, and the only problem with that is I don't think it's long enough. I think that the fans are really, really enjoying two minds like ours, having conversations and breaking the sport down in a way that not a lot of people do. We don't do predictions, and we don't do the media type of coverage on the fights. We do it strictly from a purist point of view, and we do it from a point of view that I think no one else is really doing in the sport right now. I think that our view on things from his career and his rise to the top, that dude was killing everybody, but he was deep and entrenched in the sport just like I am now, and I think we're just doing something different than anyone else is doing, and I think that's why people like it.
There's been hints of a comeback from him. If you were the matchmaker, who would you put him against?
I would like to see him. Who's that guy that James Krause fought in Lincoln? And then Mike Schwick would be cool too. But he just fought versus another Brazilian in Brazil, Warley Alves. That would be a good fight. I don't know why that guy's name popped in my head, but just like two wild strikers, that'd be wild.
That would be good.
That'd be crazy.
Now everyone's been asking you obviously a lot about John Jones, but I'm gonna have to join in as well. Was there anything that you took away from that fight in particular?
Like I've said, technically John didn't do anything I wasn't ready for. He did everything I expected him to do. If I could take anything away from that, it's really how good John is. I mean, he's not just good physically. He's mentally tuned in the whole time, and he does everything he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? He makes good decisions. He's trained well, and he's a gifted athlete. So there wasn't any surprises though, and I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that I wasn't surprised. He didn't do anything I wasn't ready for, which is also why it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and bearing that in mind, I guess you've not really had to change too much then coming into this camp.
No, not. I mean, they're similar sizes. I was already ready for long strikers, and I didn't do any real game planning for this fight. So we're going in and we're just going to react and do what I feel is right. So it almost made training a lot easier because it was just really focused on just competing and just
An instinct of it.
yeah,
as well.
and just fighting instinctual, and just making good decisions. So it was one of the easiest training camps as far as mentally that I've ever had.
That's awesome. That's great. Thanks ever so much for your time.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you again.
And what has been your biggest focus in this camp, or just leading up to this fight? Has it been more physical, mental, or what would you say has been your biggest development so far?
A little bit of both. You work in both all the time. You want to be perfect when the time comes. So.
And you're undefeated so far in the Globe Arena. Last time you were here was, I think most would agree, it was one of your finest performances. What exactly do you do to top that?
Just doing a much better one this time.
You can't propose again this time.
No, that's true. Maybe let's see what happens. I'm just gonna make sure I do an even better fight than I did last time, and I get that W. That's the most important thing right now.
And you said that the biggest danger for Smith is that he's kind of hard to finish. We saw against Jones that he froze up a little bit, and he sort of got stuck in a defensive shell. Is that something that you thought about as well, about pushing him and pushing
No,
to the cage?
no, I haven't, because you can't really take that fight and try to build a game plan from it, because Anthony wasn't himself in that fight at all. I've seen him in other fights. He comes in like a truck, and he's been finished a couple of legends in the sport. So I'm ready for that type of Anthony.
So you're expecting a better Anthony Smith and want to challenge for the title?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
He said in the past that he wants to break you, or that you break mentally easily. What do you take when an opponent talks about you like that?
No, nothing. I just think let's see on Saturday. Let's see if I break.
And where would you say your stand is right now in the division? The moniker of a gatekeeper is kind of negative, but you are kind of now a gatekeeper to the title contention. Everyone who wants to get to the title fight has to go past you. Do you see yourself in contention anymore, or do you want to wait until Jones is done with light heavyweight? Where do you see yourself right now in light heavyweight?
No, I'm just a regular fighter that just wants to fight actively and win my fights, one fight at a time. And if I get an opportunity again fighting for the title, I'll embrace it, of course. But that's nothing that's in my focus or in my mind right now. I just take one fight at a time and go through these guys. We have a lot of guys to fight in this division, so I'm far from done.
Do you feel any extra pressure fighting in front of your own crowd here in Sweden or in Stockholm?
No, not at all. I just love it. I love to fight. I like to fight in Stockholm and to be here and be able to experience all that again.
Dan Hardy recently broke down your fight with Smith. Have you had a chance to see that yet?
No.
Well, he made some comments where he was questioning. He asked, "What is Alexander Gustafsson fighting for?" And he questioned a bit like, "Well, lost 3 title fights," and he was, wondering, what kind of Alexander Gustafsson are we going to see? How do you feel about those comments? And what do you feel that you are fighting for in this fight?
Well, I'm not fighting for the title anymore, and it's not in my mind right now, because, like you said, I had 3 opportunities and I came out short all 3 times. So for me, it's just my focus and my goal is to win every fight. I take every fight and I just stack them up and trying to just be a better version of myself in every fight, and we take it from there.
Do you feel in any way that we might see a new revamped Alexander Gustafsson, returning to home field advantage?
Of course, we'll see on Saturday.
How's it been sharing training camps with your teammates who are also on the main card?
Good. It's just been good. I love having my teammates around me, and now they're fighting themselves. So we've been pushing each other hard every day, so I just enjoying it more, having your teammates here, and they're also fighting, sharing the same dressing room and that. So it's great.
Will you be watching any of their fights before you go out?
Course,
all of them,
course,
yeah. Cool.
How are you?
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
James from
Mark
Full
One.
Reptile, Dan Hardy's channel. So what are you expecting from Chris?
Nothing. I'm expecting a lot from myself, but not from him.
Good. So what happened earlier?
Intense.
Yeah.
There's an opponent in front of me who wants the same thing, so it's like putting a bone between two hungry lions. So
Totally.
yeah.
I was watching your fight the other day, where you came flying in with the knee, and then you threw your first uppercut ever.
Yeah, it is
in the
true.
octagon.
It
Yeah,
is
that was
true.
very impressive. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you so much.
Are you going to be trying to
Appreciate
do something similar to that?
There is more weapons in my arsenal at the moment, so I'm gonna go with the moment, see what's happening. But I'm ready for everything, and you better be ready for everything.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's say you're victorious
Yes.
on Saturday. Where do you want to be heading towards after this fight?
I want to fight anybody. Who I have been constantly thinking about is Zabit Magomedov. He's a person who has a good hype, and I think he needs a good challenge, and Mr. Finland is a good challenge for him.
Do you like Zabit?
Yeah, I like his style. I like he's there will be let's say that it won't be a boring fight.
Not at all. I really look forward to your fight.
Thank
on
you so
Saturday,
much.
my man.
Appreciate
All the
it.
best.
Thank you
Take
so
care,
much.
dude. So how you feeling, Chris?
Feel great.
Good. What are you expecting from McQuarrie?
Loads of chatting shit and loads of trying to make a boring fight lying on top of me. So yeah.
Has much changed since joining the UFC in terms of training for you?
Nah, still the same stuff. I've got my strength and conditioning endorsed now. Use John Moores University. They've got all the facilities and the people there. The second to none. So that's pretty much it. Just cleaned up my life a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Getting old.
What have you learned from your UFC fights so far?
Don't rush stuff and don't worry about stuff. The first fight I felt like I really rushed stuff because my UFC debut, you're eager to make an impression, and then my second fight I was that worried about all the outside aspects and not the actual fighting. You have 2 losses in a row, that phone can stop calling. That my timing was off and it affected the fight. I've got no worries about this and I'm not going to rush this. I really do want to savour the moments of this fight of me earning them. So yeah.
That's good.
Nice.
How do you plan on celebrating?
I don't know, I bought a chihuahua last time, I might do the same again this time. It's not like 5 years ago where I'd be out for days, I just go home.
So no more casino?
Maybe the casino. Not sure my miss will be happy about that later, but yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, all the best, dude.
Thank you very much.
No worries. First question was, how has the transition from Muay Thai to MMA been for you?
Good, or how to say it. It's been fun. I like to learn new things and all the time get better of what I do. So MMA was the good choice to do after that.
What's your favourite aspect then of MMA now? Do you enjoy the jiu-jitsu as much as the kickboxing?
I do. It's good because sometimes I don't want to do stand up. Then I do more jiu-jitsu. Then I'm like, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. Then I do more stand up. Off camp, of course. In camp we do everything, but it's nice that you can choose a bit sometimes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And has the UFC always been the goal for you?
Yeah. You always have to aim for the top.
Since day one?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. So you must be very happy to be fighting on top.
Yeah.
And where do you see yourself heading in the future if you're victorious after this win?
Just keep going and be victorious after victorious. And like I said, just aim for the top all the time. First was my goal to be in the UFC, and now in the UFC, then I want to be in the top in the UFC.
And now you want to, I assume you're going to want to hold a belt as well very soon.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. So last question, what's your inspiration coming into this fight specifically?
Specifically this fight?
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's I've been training so hard for this fight, and I really have think, amaze myself how hard I can, like how much I can, they say, develop. And so for me, this has been a fight, like you say, against myself or something like that. So for me, like I already won my fight for me, so now I'm just gonna fight her. So.
Awesome. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Thanks.
Take care. So how you feeling ahead of the match?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Good,
definitely.
good. I'm liking your tattoos as well.
Oh, thank
Can
you.
you talk to me about them?
The tattoos, actually, you know, the birds here are supposed to look like a typical Swedish bird. And I got them because of my grandfather when he passed away. When we were kids, we used to sit in his kitchen, you know, looking at the birds that he fed outside. So those one is for him.
That's nice, that's
Yeah.
nice. Symbolizes family.
Yeah, and especially him. He was, you know, the perfect grandpa ever.
Yeah, no, that's lovely, that's lovely. So what do you think to Bia? All around, what do you think to her?
Think to
Bia.
To Bia.
Yeah.
Bia is she's a little bit crazy in a good way. No, she's really tough. She's good at, you know, using that. She's really a tall fighter, you know. Really heavy punches, heavy kicks, and
I assume you watched her on Tough then?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have seen her fight in Thai boxing before as well.
Yeah.
And I have sparred with her, so.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
How did that go?
We were quite equal, you know, but still we know each other from the Thai boxing and from earlier, so we're friends.
Yeah.
But she's definitely tough, and when she gets a hold of somebody, it's not that fun.
Yeah. So what do you think of Evinger?
Avenger, she's also a tough one, you know. Not in the same way as BA is a tough one, but she's still tough, and she had a lot of experience. She has been along for forever. But she's definitely a fighter that I look forward to fighting.
Are you expecting anything in particular in the octagon with her?
Yeah, that she's gonna be tough. That's it, pretty much.
That's it. All right, cool. Hey Daniel, how you doing?
Hi, my friend. Thank you.
James from Full Reptile. First question, what do you think to Sunbin Jo?
What do you think?
Yeah. Have you had any chance to do any research with his fights?
I don't care so much of him, honestly. I don't care of him. I just focus on myself. I'm ready to beat him up. That's it.
Fair enough, that's a good answer.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
So,
like.
right, bearing that in mind then, what's your inspiration coming into this fight specifically?
Honestly, I love to fight. It's my life. You know, I fight since I was like 15 years old. So.
Are you fighting for anyone in particular? Is it just yourself?
No, I fight for myself and my family, for my blood. You know, it's like I'm born in fight. You know, I'm just gonna go there for fight. You know, so I don't care. You know, I'm always. If you wanna, I go for what kind of fight you want. Like, kill me, do what you want. I'm ready.
How do you see this fight ending?
I will beat him up.
Yeah.
Just
KO?
like that. I will see. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I'm comfortable. I'm good at the ground. I'm good at striking. I have a couple of striking fights. I'm one of the best. I train with one of the best ground guys in the world. So I'm ready for everything.
That's great.
We'll see.
Awesome. All the best. Take care, my man. Good luck. See you later, bro.
I heard you drove up from Malmo, which is like 500 kilometers from where we are in Stockholm, right?
Yeah.
That's
in the middle of the night. Yeah, it was a crazy story. You can almost make a movie out of that.
And how do you go about cutting that much weight in such a short space of time? Because you know there's a danger to your health, but you also have to fight in Sassy when you get there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when the opportunity came, it was just to do it. Obviously, it's dangerous, and you know, I did what I had to do, and honestly, today I don't know how I made it.
I'm looking at you now. It's like you still don't believe yourself
Yeah,
that you did
it's
it.
like crazy.
Tell me a little bit about the light heavyweight division now, because right now we got one guy at the top, and we got a bunch of guys under fighting for positions and title shots and that kind of thing. What can you win here on Saturday night?
It's like it's an important fight. Every fight is important. You're fighting a former title contender who fought for the belt. So it's always a great fight that it's always important. It's a great fight that can take you up in your career again.
How do you see it going? What's your plan for Saturday night?
I'm planning to go, for the finish. So if I have the possibility to do that, I will do it.
You've been working here in the All-Stars gym in Stockholm. What's it like in there? It's a bit of a hothouse because you've got a lot of good light heavyweights fighting in there. Alex is in there, Jimmy Mano is in there. What's it like going to work every day in there?
Every day is a war. You're fighting top fighters who are there preparing for fights. So everything is every day is like very, very high level training.
And finally, you're on the streets of Stockholm here. What's the vibe like? What are people saying to you when they see you on the street here in Stockholm?
They're very supportive, and the crowd is gonna be crazy. So I believe it's gonna be an amazing night.
He's a tank. Stocky guy, is really strong. No neck. Like he goes, he blitz. He has this power. He blitz inside and does a kind of he wrestle. But actually I think he's most of his game are in the standing department, and then he's a Greco guy, so it's definitely different kind of takedown than most of the wrestlers in the UFC. So it's different stuff, but you just have to adapt and be ready for it.
Thank you, man.
Good luck. Thank you.
Want to go to war? That's great. You also put on the show, and we're really happy to see you back. And hopefully everything goes well for you. I got more evidence of you in the show. Isn't it rough?
Ah, coach. Tu fais live? J'attends, hein.
Vous allez faire quoi?
Gotta wait, huh? You gotta fucking wait.
No.
Yeah, well.
Oh, we gotta wait now.
Yeah, those guys. They're focused on the main.
Ska jag presentera mig själv eller?
Gärna.
Okej.
Ja, tjena, hur mår du?
Tjena, Erik Wörling här med Kimura. Här är vi med Volkan. Ska ställa lite frågor här innan hans fight nu i Globen. How are you doing, Volkan? All good?
I'm doing great, thank you. What about you?
Oh, great, oh, great. How's the week been? Having a good fight week?
Yeah, fight week was great as always. I like to be in Sweden. I had my first fight in Sweden 3 years ago, and it was already a good experience. And again, it's the same right now.
Nice. Have you had time to see the city, anything, or just focusing on the fight and the weight cut?
I just went one time outside quickly, but obviously when it's weight cut time, you don't want to move too much. You want to stay focused on the media and all the obligation from the UFC.
Of course. Like not expend too much energy. And how does it feel fighting someone that you consider almost a friend? Is that okay with you? Is there anything you can shut off while doing the fight?
So I'm just entering the fight emotionless. It's I'm having this tunnel vision, and that's just how I see the fight. But obviously, Ilir was not my first pick. Like he's somebody I never wanted to fight. But at the end of the day, I just come of bad losses, like split decision losses. I thought the fight was mine. I still believe it, and it's too bad. I just wanted to be back in the cage as soon as possible. And since I can't fight in the US for now, then the European card was the next for me, and Ilir was a fight the UFC proposed.
So it's more of a professional decision than anything else. It's not anything you actually would go after.
No, I mean there is no hatred towards Ilir. I like him a lot. He's a really good guy, and it's like I say, I'm gonna enter the fight with him as a work colleague. He's gonna be like a work colleague for me, and we're gonna be earning this money together.
Cool. That's awesome. And what do you feel you need to do to be able to win this fight? Which are the weapons that you feel that you have that you will defeat somebody like Ilir?
So you just have to shut him off whenever he's dangerous. I think he's a fighter that blitz a lot. He has different kind of games also. He's moving sometimes, but I think his previous fight he was standing a little bit more still. But I think everybody's style is improving, but mostly he's also always the same. You know, like he's a good striker. Like he's coming strong. You know, like a small Tyson, and he has his Greco-Roman background. So that's the kind of fighter he is, and I have to be ready for this.
All right, great. Well, I hope you have a great night, and hope you can enjoy a little bit of Stockholm as well. It's a beautiful city, and I hope to see you soon again. Okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
J'ai fait, puis dès que ça recommence à descendre, j'ai arrêté, ok?
Ouais.
Hey man, how you doing?
Thank you. Good and you?
Not too bad, thank you. Just wondering how you feeling for Saturday. Feeling good?
I'm feeling great, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. And have you, how have you prepared to go into Saturday just in terms of your opponent? Latifi as well. Is there anything you've kind of changed to?
So since I know Latifi for a long time, you know, we've been training together in 2011 in the US. It's going to be a little bit different, so because we have this friendly relationship. So it's not with pleasure that I'm going there to fight him, but you know, as soon as you know I'm entering the D-Day, you know, like a fight day, then it's all different. It's going to be emotionless for me. I'm going to have this tunnel vision, and I'm just going to come here to do my work.
And did you bring in anyone in new to help you prepare?
So I had the help of a wrestling coach also from Sweden, Babak, and he's coming here. I mean, I've been training with him since I think the first time 2013 in Thailand. I met him through Alistair Overeem, and he came to Switzerland like 2-3 times. You know, I met him in the US. He was the coach of Anthony Johnson while I was in the US, also same team. So we always have had this relationship, and obviously Ilir is a strong wrestler. He's a wrestling coach, so you know I just called him for some help, because right now I'm training in Switzerland. You know, Switzerland doesn't have that much of a wrestling background, you know, historically in the country. So you know I've been bringing help, and also I've been to Norway also to train with some other guys, you know, to help me getting ready for this fight.
Oh, that sounds great. And just one final thing as well. I mean, by the end of this year, where do you see yourself, and where do you want to be?
So right now I'm in a tough situation because I'm coming off 3 consecutive losses. So this wins obviously is not going to bring me, you know, close or kind of close to a title shot, but I think I need to keep proving myself right now. Obviously one more win, and I think the peoples from tonight's Saturday night card will be definitely a good choice.
A couple of years ago, I was supposed to train here for a couple of weeks. But the first time I compete in Stockholm, and I just hear just good things about the fans and about the people. They support MMA here, and the MMA here is really big, and I'm really excited for Saturday.
Cool. How have you prepared for your upcoming fight tomorrow against Jimmy?
I did my camp in American Top Team, where I did my last camps, and 2 weeks before the fight, I changed to Vienna, where I live, to acclimatize and to get the jet lag done and finish my camp here in Vienna. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Nice weather in Vienna at the minute.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Nice for the mindset and stuff.
Of course, and to see the family and to get that extra motivation and that extra boost for the last days of the camp. You know, you train so hard for a couple of weeks and you're not motivated anymore. So it's nice to see the family and the friends, so they give you extra boost. And of course, you are at home, you are in your comfort zone before the fight, and yeah.
So, obviously there's 2 other lightweight bouts on the card. Do you see any of those as your next opponent after this?
Of course. I mean, when I beat Jimmy on Saturday, I'm gonna be for sure. I'm gonna be ranked. Maybe I'm gonna take his position. I think he's ranked number 11, and there are just a couple of more guys in front of me. So and those guys are all better ranked than me. So of course, yes, they're climbing up the ladder, and when the time comes, the UFC gonna give me the title shot. But I don't want to rush. You know, I'm 27 years old and I have plenty of time.
Yeah. So by the end of this year, where do you want to be at? By the end of 2019?
I want to do, after this fight, I want to do one more fight, and I hope to get to the top 10. Even better is the top 5, but like I said, I don't want to rush, and I'm just focused on the guys in front of me, and that's it.
And just to finish off, just a quick prediction for tomorrow's fight. Where do you think it's going to go?
I'm going to finish Jimmy in the second round by TKO.
Cool.